Learn to play poker with the Opie and Anthony Show.
No. Oh, God. She spilled my chips.
I'm sorry, sir.
Opie. Now clean it out!
That's right. Be a poker player, just like your father.
The Opie and Anthony Show.
Are you happy now, Opie? Are you happy?
Let me take you on a little journey of my own, Opie, through my divorce. Remember?
Oh, boy.
Remember, which is another battle.
I'm going to take a break now myself.
Remember when I was first going through it? We had just
uncomfortable.
We were working at NEW for a short period of time, making not making too much money, to tell you the truth, to be honest with you. They brought us on board at a budget. Mm-hmm. And I go into divorce proceedings with that earning. Well, Dominic Barbara, like President Bush, extended the divorce proceedings all the way through my contract negotiations, which was 2 years later, and all the way through up until I signed a new deal. That deal that everyone talked about, because it was a very attractive deal. He knew how to extend the battle to his advantage.
What?
You think it's still in my head? You think I still mull that over on a daily friggin' basis?
It's the only time I get uncomfortable.
Well, that's what Bush did. He extended it right through the election. Learned from his daddy.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're done with the speeches?
Yeah.
Why do you have to keep
boring.
paying? You shouldn't have to keep paying. You've been divorced for a while. It's like it should be over. Maybe for a year or so.
Huh? What? Who?
Just in general.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pat's been separated and divorced for, I don't even know, like 6 years now.
About 6 years.
They still pay him.
How long are you supposed to pay alimony for? Like, how many years?
That's all sorted out.
In a general, is there like a time limit for people?
No. See, the more money you make or have, the longer you'll pay. That's pretty much how it works. There's no rule of thumb. No. Except the thumb I want to plunge into my eyeball every time I think about it.
But wait, women can just go out and like get a new job and stuff like that and have their own rent, and they're still going to collect a check.
Exactly.
For doing...
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they're not even obligated to give up the box anymore?
There you go.
Alimony wouldn't be so bad if you still had the right.
If you could take the drive over with no notice.
Yeah, pull out your mule and go, it looks a little dry, doesn't it? And she's got to go, good point. Blah, 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 blah. There you go, and then you like glue the check to her forehead. That's the way for all couples.
They spit on the forehead, slap the check on there.
The guy just gets screwed in all that.
Yeah.
Of course he does.
It's unbelievable. But then the women out there want to be looked at as equals.
Of course they do.
You want to be an equal? When a divorce happens, you leave, you go your separate ways. You go, get a job, whatever, and the guy goes and continues what he's doing.
Especially if there's no kids.
You split the bank account down the middle, so you don't go to the bank and withdraw all the money out of the bank. No, you don't go to the bank.
All right, we're going there? Because I was with you that day, and I got to tell you, it was the funniest and saddest day I've ever spent with Anthony.
Oh, my God.
The funniest and saddest day.
I was in shock.
Anthony and I are doing this radio show, and all hell's is going on behind the scenes with his personal life, and it's getting very obvious that there was going to be lawyers involved and stuff. So I look at Anthony one day as we're getting ready for the show, literally a half hour before the show, and I go, Ant, how much money you got in your bank account, that joint account of yours? And what was it, honestly?
It was, Opie, it was every penny I had saved in my entire life.
Right.
At that point in my life, it was every cent I had saved in my whole life, and it was a grand total of
40,000.
40 G's.
So I go to Ant,
which was, for me, especially since up until, a few years before that, before I even got into radio, before I came to NEW, I had, nothing. I was working for a living with, if I could keep $1,200 in my bank account, it was a miracle.
No, it's so pathetic. We kicked ass in Boston, and we both came home with barely bank accounts.
Yeah, I had nothing.
I had maybe 40,000 as well.
That job gave me the privilege of paying off some credit card debt. That was pretty much it, and not even all the credit card debt.
We came to New York with really not much money in the bank and stuff. So I'm looking at Anthony. I'm like, how much money is in that joint account of yours? And he's like, I don't know, about 40,000. I'm like, dude. She's getting lawyers involved, it looks like. Why don't we go to the bank? This is a true story.
Yeah.
I was the one who told you. I go, why don't we go to the bank, and why don't you take some of that money out? And you being the good guy, I swear this is the truth. Ant goes, you know what? I will go and I'm going to take half the
I'm
money
going to take
out.
20 grand. I figured I'm going to go and take 20 grand out.
Because I'm a good guy. I'm going to take half out and leave the
20
other
grand.
half for her.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I get there. I write out my little
Dude,
withdrawal slip.
It was so funny and so sad. And I'm sitting there as Aunt's doing the withdrawal slip and stuff.
$20,000 withdrawal. Here's my account number. Let me get my ID. I walk up to the counter. Hello. How are you today? Give it a little slip. Does some typing.
Looks at the monitor.
I'm there, clearing out some spots in my wallet. Well, just going to be a hell of a wad.
You're just trying to figure out if you wanted in large bills or maybe a check.
Can you see where this is headed?
Right.
Is there any mystery left in this story?
Sorry, Mr. Kumia. There seems to be $42 in your account.
She took 40,000.
She took the 40 large.
Before they even started negotiating the divorce.
The whole thing. The whole wad.
How does that happen? How did the judge not go, all right, well, where's the 20 of that money?
Not only does that happen, but then you have to go to court, and then they have to tell you how much out of now the pay that you're getting, that money's gone. Now I have to resave and try to build up my account again. But out of the money that I'm making, money's got to come out of that to go to her. As like support payments, they call it. And that's what you got to go through. Not only did I take your 40 G's, but gonna have to pay out of your paycheck. This is what happens to a man in a divorce. They get screwed over. It's an amazing thing that you have to go through. It's amazing.
And there are options to that, and sometimes some guys don't want to get raked over the coals, so they figure, well, maybe a rowboat and an anchor.
That's
and a
who
little
is that?
fishing expedition.
Is that Chris Rock's
Oh, yeah,
bit?
you understand.
I understand. I wouldn't kill her,
But I
understand. It's talking about O.J. Simpson.
So, Jim, I'm sitting in the bank, and I know what's going on just from the body language. I start laughing harder than I've ever
he's
laughed.
laughing at me.
Inside. And then I got to be there for my pal.
I'm out 40 G's.
And then I look at him, and then I was really sad for him. But I started laughing, then I'm like, oh, my God, I cannot believe
You know what
this
I
is
looked
going
like
on.
when we were walking back to the studio?
He didn't even have money for lunch. And we're becoming big radio stars in New York. At that point, Anthony had absolutely no money to his name except what he had in his wallet, which I don't think he had much
No,
of
I
that
didn't.
day.
Let me give you a visual of what I looked like walking back. Picture the scene in Jaws where Sheriff Brody is trying to get the mayor to sign that paper after the last shark attack, and the mayor's like, my son was in that water too. Just sign it. Close the beaches. Beaches are all. I was doing it for the citizens.
We could go.
That was me. I was gone. Opie, I had 40.
We could go.
We gotta go. I can't do a show.
We could go old school. You look like Dr. Bellows.
Dr. Bellows. Remember Dr. Bellows from I Dream of Jeannie?
Yeah.
Whenever he would always see Jeannie appear or disappear, and Tony was trying to explain to him what happened, and he's like, and then I looked, and there was a woman, and then she was gone, but the box was here, and all of a sudden, and you came in, but that was gone, and that was me. Just confusion. Oh, it was awful. I had no clue what to do. None.
The best part about that whole thing was when she was claiming that she made you a radio star.
What?
Well,
That she had something to do with it.
It once you get into
it was
court,
amazing.
Once you get into court when you're divorced, getting a divorce, the lawyer for the wife will
I had to
always,
hand over old tapes of our shows at BAB because she was trying to prove that she helped Anthony's career.
They try to get what's called future earnings. So what the lawyer will do is say, all right, your earning potential for the rest of your life is X amount of dollars, and she has a right to some of that money. So they will give a percentage to her based on what you might earn in the future, and you got to pay that. That's why I, decided to settle, and that's what happened. But how are they going to screw you? And I'm trying to say, look, I might not make a dime. I might do something stupid on our show and get fired.
That's exactly what happened.
So it's the laws for divorce is so screwed.
Yep.
So many guys get raked over the coals. I'm lucky because, it costs me a lot of money, but at least I make a good wage. It's not like I'm the guy making, $30,000 and you got to give her half. Now you're living on $15,000, that's pretty rough. That is really rough. But that, for some reason, we want to be equals. I don't want the corporate glass ceiling. I want to make as much, you know. We want to be respected in the corporate world. We want this, that. You want it? Then no more divorce laws that are against the guys. All the time.
What?
Huh? What?
They don't contribute creatively ever. Here's what they should say in court. How big is his bag? All right, you drained it a little bit. That's what you contributed to the relationship.
Weigh my bag.
You're a bag drainer. All women are bag drainers.
Another scene out of Jaws. Quint, I'll never get married again. It's like putting on that life jacket after you're swimming around, watching people get plucked off. He bobbed up and down and then turned over. He was bitten in half at the waist. His wife did it. Took half the son of a bitch. I'll never get married again. Paycheck goes in the water. Wife's in the water. My wife. Farewell and adieu to half of your pay. Oh. Awful. Yeah. Here she comes. Look out. We're going to need a bigger paycheck.
I don't want to open the shark and have that settlement spill out all over the dock.
Oh, brother.
And you will pay that alimony.
Oh, God damn. Yeah.
Wow.
Dragged me under like that little Kittner boy.
I'll say. All right.
Jesus
What do we got
Christ.
next, Ben?
She can't stay down with 3 alimony checks in her pocket. Wife came in looking for my check with black eyes, lifeless eyes, like a doll's eyes. Hear that horrible high-pitched screaming and hollering as she takes your check. Everyone just keeps pounding, pounding. Sometimes she goes away, sometimes she don't go away. She just hear that pounding and horrible high-pitched screaming. Come in and tear your paycheck to pieces.
Wow.
It was August 2002.
Let's drink to your lawyer. Let's drink to my lawyer.
All of a sudden, Okie Bar, Boston, fat lawyer come in, grab my paycheck, poured it out of my pocket.
Check this out. Steve from New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Guys definitely get screwed in a divorce. F yeah. Get this. My wife left me for the lesbian next door.
Oh, that's
in
a
New
cute
Hampshire.
story.
And somehow in New Hampshire, when that happens, it's not considered adultery. Can you imagine if I did the same thing?
Wow, if you leave for a lesbian next door, it's not adultery?
In New Hampshire, I guess.
If you're a chick.
So.
There.
All right.
Good
Well,
luck to you.
yeah, sure. We'll continue in just a bit here.
Warning, warning, C-word alert, C-word alert, warning, warning.
C is for the way you crap on me. U is 'cause you're ugly, and so's your peach. N's for no, I never told you that I railed your sister. T, thanks for the Hummers, they were better than your mother's. Cunt is all you'll ever be, it's true. Cunt, you must be more than one, you're two. Pew, your gash is stanky, and your ass is always cranky. Cunt, the word was made for you. C is for castration, try that on me. Hey, hey, you, well I urinate, have a shot, it's free. N's for some big Negro tearing up your leather Cheerio. T, you friggin' twat, no, you will never be forgotten. Cunt is all you've ever been to me. A cunt, and a really big one, and all my friends disagree. You're that slang word for vagina. Can't describe you any finer. Cunt, the word's just right for you. Whoa, cunt, the word was made for you. Get out the room and up, cunt, the word is made for you.
Coming up next on Opie and Anthony, Jim Norton sings.
Forget me not, you sightless twat. Your dog just shit on my rug.
Thought that was pretty fucking funny, didn't you?
How's that for a sketch?
The Opie and Anthony Show.
You don't do sketches, stupid.
I was walking down the street, and some construction guy was shouting at me, "Hey, show me your cans!" So I did. And he plummeted 17 floors and was impaled on a forklift. But my tits looked great.
Please, wow responsibly. A public service announcement of the Opie and Anthony Show.
It's the O&A virus.